The Efteling is world famous for its dark rides, but there are also multiple really good coasters in the park. We rank all 10 Efteling roller coasters in this video. Hi, my name is Joris from Dutch Themepark Network. Let's dive in. On the 10th spot we find Moritz, one of the coasters of Max and Moritz. Those are built by Mack Rides and are in the park since 2020. It isn't on the bottom spot because it's a bad coaster, but it's a powered coaster, mainly an entrance ride for children. So we're not the target audience, but it's a fun ride. And on the 9th spot, well, surprising, it's Max, the other coaster of Max and Moritz. Also a powered coaster, also by Mack and also in the park since 2020. What makes this ride a little bit better than Moritz? Well, it's mostly the end scene before you enter the station building. This one is with Mr. Lempel. He blows up his pipe. In Moritz you see Max jumping on his whoopee cushion, and well, I just like this scene a little bit better, and also during the ride the meet up with the other coaster is a little bit better for Max, and that is why Max is a little bit above Moritz. Here at the Efteling Museum we find an honor to all previous attractions in the park. And here we'll find the roller coaster that's on the 8th spot in our top list. The wooden roller coaster Pegasus. This one was in the park since 1991 till 2009. It was built by Intamin, and especially at the end of his lifetime it was a really painful ride. That is why the management of Efteling decided to demolish this attraction in 2009 to reopen its replacement on the same location a year later. This is George and the Dragon. We'll find higher up in this list. On the 7th spot we find the oldest roller coaster of the park. The Python is built by Vekoma and is in the park since 1981. But still really smooth. That's because it is almost completely rebuilt in 2018. When you look really close to the track, you can still see which part is old and which part is new. And maybe it's also a holder of another record, the slowest lift hill in the world. No, we are not back at Max and Moritz, but on the 6th spot of our list we'll find Bob. And Bob was the former roller coaster that was on the same place as where we find Max and Moritz nowadays. We can still see some parts of Bob, because the entrance building of Max and Moritz is the same as the station building of Bob, but now it's heavily themed. Bob was a unique ride because the vehicles could roam freely within the track. It was built by Intamin and it was in the park since 1985 up to 2019. Because of the high cost of maintenance and that some parts weren't available anymore, the Efteling had to decide to demolish this ride. For many Dutch people this was the first roller coaster they have ever rode. You can still see some pictures of it in the Efteling Museum. On the 5th spot we find Flying Dutchman. This coaster is built by Kumba Coasters, opened up in 2007. There were troubles at the opening because they had trouble with the lift hill. This is a mix between a walkthrough, a dark ride, a coaster and a big splash in the water. Quite popular by everyone, but in this list it covers the 5th spot. On the 4th place we find an attraction that nearly wasn't in the park at all, because at this spot Efteling planned to build a copy of Eurosat from Europa Park in the impressive dome you might know from Europa Park or Epcot. But we got Vogel Rok, the indoor roller coaster of the park. This coaster is built by Vekoma and is in the park since 1998. There are no inversions in this roller coaster. There's a backstory about the second voyage of Sinbad. We made an entire 20-minute long video about Vogel Rok, telling you everything you want to know. You can find this video on our channel. We'll make sure to link it down in the description. On the 3rd spot we find Joris and the Dragon, the water track. This is one of the 2 tracks of this wooden dueling coaster built by Great Coaster International. The coaster opened in 2010 and replaced the former Woody Pegasus. Why is water on this spot? There is a lot of banking in the ride, but mostly the wait time is a little bit longer because disabled persons can only ride the water track. And that makes the queue a little bit longer than fire. And you can guess the 2nd spot. It is Joris and the Dragon, the fire track. Why do I prefer fire above water? Because it has a little bit more airtime. It is actually a real contest between the 2 tracks. Both are in the same length and have the same top speed. I think Joris and the Dragon is the most thrilling roller coaster in the park. Maybe a little bit more thrilling than the number 1 spot. The best roller coaster in the park, in our opinion, is the dive coaster Baron 1898, or short Baron. This one is in the park since 2015 and is built by B&M. We made a full video about Baron, telling you everything there is to know about this brilliant, well-themed roller coaster. You go 19 kilometers per hour, you will dive right underground. This is for the real daredevils. That rounds up our top list of all the roller coasters at Efteling. There are some height restrictions and measurement restrictions for some of the rides. You can check the Efteling app to see all restrictions, and there are test seats at Baron and Joris and the Dragon because those are most limited. This ends up our list of Efteling roller coasters. What is your favorite roller coaster at Efteling? Let us know down in the comments. And make sure to give a thumbs up to this video. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to make sure you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. We hope to see you in the next one. See ya!